Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And now, my question of today is: do you love cryptocurrency? If yes, then which one is your favorite one? Is it Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP? Let me know in the comment section down below. So today has actually been a pretty big day for crypto, and we're actually seeing quite a noticeable, better percentage for DeFi coins. For example, here Ethereum, Cardano, EOS, they're doing significantly better, which is what a couple of guys were warning for, and what we covered in the videos the last couple of days. Having said that, though, Bitcoin hits massive 1,350 Bitcoin sell wall. Here's why buyers want to break it right now. And by the way, if you guys are enjoying the daily crypto news, support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribe. And I also wanted to notify you guys that even though it might say Ripple in the title or the thumbnail, it's not necessarily only about Ripple or XRP. Most of the time, I also add some general crypto news into it, and it's a healthy mix. But if you guys have any suggestions on coins you'd like to see next, just comment it down below and I'll get to it. Bitcoin hits massive sell wall. Bitcoin has seen a tempered upswing over the past several hours that has come about in tandem with a rise in the stock market. Again, we concluded that the correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market was about 95%, and thus it is not strange to see that if the stock market goes up, we'll see a correlation like that happening, where Bitcoin will go up with that as well. This upwards movement has done little to alter its underlying technical strength, as it still remains squarely within its long-held trading range. This move has also led it up against a massive sell wall on Binance, which may slow the cryptocurrency's ascent and stop it from incurring any notable momentum. Again, this massive sell wall here supposedly is about 1350 Bitcoin big, which is a pretty big hurdle to get over. And there's a few simple reasons recently laid out by one of the analysts that suggest that Bitcoin will not break above this resistance anytime soon. Well, hearing from the fact that there's a pretty big sell wall over at 9450, there's a chance that on Binance it's not going to breach it, right? Doesn't mean Bitcoin price won't be able to get higher than it because, well, we're seeing it right now. But it could be that on Binance there's a little bit more of a hurdle. Now, how does that work? One sell wall, or a sell wall in theory, could just be exchange specific. And it could be that the order book here in Binance doesn't really give out exactly what it's looking like on different exchanges. And that is always why this price is calculated from multiple exchanges and with a very interesting metric, of course. And in the end, it's also possible still to this date to get some good arbitrage trades in, because at one point or another, there is going to be some discrepancy between exchanges where you're able to make a profit if you are quick or running some programs. And now, I find these articles always BS because there's no resistance that's unable to break. Even if there's 10,000 Bitcoins there, if they want it, they'll break it. If the time is there, it will go past it without a worry in the world. And thus, these analyses are always a little bit of a stretch. There's just, I think, the appeal to it of getting some attention by having such a massive title or such a clickbaity one. But there's no knob break in it at all. There's not even a thought in my head that thinks we won't breach it. It's not even that heavy. I mean, it's pretty heavy, but it's not that heavy. And maybe a 10,000 Bitcoin wall, we could talk from something else, but this is no issue, guys. We can easily get to 10,000, where I think the biggest hurdle will lie, because that's a psychological barrier, which I've told you guys about before. Galgatron, and I guess everybody else over on Twitter right now, is being completely big on this article. This could be very big for crypto, assuming, of course, they don't pull a Winklevoss and preclude XRP. He's, of course, talking about PayPal and Venmo to roll out crypto buying and selling, which just got announced. Fintech giant PayPal plans to roll out direct sales of crypto to its 325 million users, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. Currently, PayPal can be used as an alternative means for withdrawing funds from exchanges such as Coinbase, but this would be a first in terms of offering direct sales of crypto. To quote, my understanding is that they are going to allow buys and sells of crypto directly from PayPal and Venmo, a well-placed industry source told CoinDesk. They're going to have some sort of built-in wallet functionality so you can store it there. And now very often do we talk about making crypto accessible to everybody. And this right here would be one of the best moves that they could make. Would definitely do a lot of good for crypto as a whole, because if I were to be able to buy Bitcoin through PayPal, I would most likely increase my Bitcoin sales by 85%. Just because I would buy it so much because it's so simple, unless the fees were ridiculously high. You know, the fees, if we're talking about a 5% fee to buy it, yeah, then most likely I'm never buying crypto on there. Or if the price is just that bad. But if they give something good, yeah, you bet your ass I'm getting in there. It is unclear which or how many crypto would be available. The industry source said they expect PayPal would be working with multiple exchanges to source liquidity. And I'm wondering what type of profit they're going to be making from that, though. Really, really still wondering. And some other platforms are also looking to do exactly the same as PayPal is doing here. PayPal, however, declined to comment on these plans, which is a very smart move from all of them. And yeah, I'm just thinking, again, this is another pull towards, or push even, towards a newer world where this whole crypto is just the standard and normal, where buying crypto is just going to be as easy as buying a newspaper, which actually is getting more and more difficult now that I'm thinking about it. By the way, fun fact, or just something to think about for all of you that are, I guess over the age of maybe 20. When you guys were, a little bit younger or whatever, like 10, let's say 15 years ago, 10 years ago, wasn't it really normal to be able to buy a newspaper everywhere? And even if we're talking 20 years ago, it used to be the normalest thing to buy a newspaper. It's a very cheap little newspaper. You could buy it everywhere. I remember back in school, I believe it was in the lower school, I don't know what it's called, and I used to pick up a newspaper for my mom every single day. And it was pretty damn cheap, but it was also just available everywhere if I had to go to school. Now, if I want to find a newspaper, I'm going to have to put in a little bit of work to go and find it. Because really, it's not as accessible and easy as it used to be because everything is turning digital. To a certain degree, really, really good. To another degree, kind of sad to see your nostalgia kind of fade away. Because newspapers, everybody reading outside with them, and maybe like your father or somebody, father figure, maybe something like that, with a very big A2 or what is it, A1, big ass paper reading it all. Yeah, it's not there anymore, and I kind of miss it, to be completely honest. On the contrary, though, again, it's a good thing because it's all getting digital. It's all getting a lot easier, and most of it is getting free as well, which is I guess even a lot better because they can make money off of the ads instead of us having to buy it, which for the consumer is a lot simpler, and it's also a lot easier to filter through exactly what you want to see. And I guess to relate it back to crypto a little bit, we talked about how crypto will be accessible to everybody at one point in the future. Charles said that the Bitcoin bull run would take another, let's say, for example, 9 years or so from now, and that one of the things that needed to happen was a solution to private keys, but also a solution to easy buying and selling. And I believe that what we're talking about here, if PayPal were to really step in, could be a game changer. Again, a game changer of astronomical proportion. And I'll talk more about this in my 5-minute crypto video later today. Make sure you also subscribe to that channel, by the way. Don't forget to do that. It's a pretty good channel, if I do say so myself. All right, having said that, though, Ripple technical analysis. XRP to USD remains weak, and it's a danger of crashing after millions of XRP coins from Plus Token scam were moved to exchanges. XRP is still one of the weakest coins despite an overall recovery of the crypto market, and millions of XRP coins were moved to exchanges from the Plus Token scam, a famous $2 billion crypto theft. And again, if you guys are interested in the real analysis of XRP or the price, just pause it right now and check it out for a little second. It might be able to help you. Doesn't necessarily help me with anything out. Just find it cool that some people are still worried about these scams, their tokens being moved to exchanges to kind of crash anything. I can almost guarantee you that it doesn't really crash the price almost ever, Because really, to get the biggest kind of crash going on is if they were to dump it on, for example, Binance, where you could have a very big snowball effect going on, maybe a Bitfinex or some, bigger, more huge exchanges. Even BitMEX wouldn't really work that well because it's so chaotic, and I guess, even hundreds of thousands of dollars or even a couple million doesn't really matter too much on BitMEX. It all just fluctuates like crazy. But on Binance, yeah, they will not just really allow the money to flow. I think Binance, their systems are so freaking good to see money that comes from theft so simply, or not simply maybe, but so fast. I don't think it will work too well. And again, that's what I love about Binance. Talking about them, by the way, Binance lists Digibyte with 0 BNB fee. Big win for the future of true decentralization. Digibyte prices jump 40% after Binance announces trading for Digibyte to Bitcoin, Digibyte to BNB, and Digibyte to USD or BUSD pairs. The listing came after months-long feud between CZ and Jared Tate over listing fees. And one of the things that Jared Tate said is that Binance charges a ridiculously huge amount to get your coin listed. Binance replied and said that's not really true, and there was a big feud about them for a very, very long time. Now, while that was going on, a lot of the Digibyte supporters became angry at Binance for not listing their coin as simply as a lot of the lower cap coins would. And yeah, that was a pretty big debate. But now that they finally got their word through, and again, it's all on there, people are really, really happy. And Broyd also says on Twitter, Jared declared war on CZ and Justin Sun in December of 2019. Jared leaves Digibyte Core in May of 2020. Binance lists Digibyte in June 2020. Guess who won? It's kind of interesting, though, if you think about it. Jared Tate, I don't remember exactly why he left. Maybe because his interest was still in the project, even though he wasn't involved with it. Maybe he was done. I don't remember. I don't really care either. Because, yeah, why would you, right? Digibyte is now on Binance, so it's still thriving. It doesn't matter if he's at the top anymore. Is this part? However, some are still questioning Binance's move, as the listing came just over a month after Tate announced that he's stepping down from handling the daily operations, while accusing the crypto community of becoming co-opted, eroded by greed. Every day, I see this tech being used to enrich the few at the expense of the long-term good of the many, he said at the time. He also warned that the centralization of this industry will be its undoing if we let it. Again, a very big decentralization type of person. And he most likely is not leaving the project entirely, but he's leaving the main daily operations, kind of taking a little bit of a more relaxed life and being able to enjoy it more than working all day, maybe. Jack the Rippler says, boom, SBI Ripple Asia plans to launch XRP remittance platform this year. ODL is designed to give banks and financial institutions a regulated method to send fiat currency across borders in an instant using XRP as a bridge currency. Now, we all know that. We all know what it's designed to do. We all know what the plan is. And funny enough, we all thought and knew about this part as well, that SBI Ripple Asia was planning to launch XP Remittance platform this year. We knew about this already, so I don't know exactly why they came out with the article right now. However, if we're talking about this SBI Ripple Asia, which is a very interesting name if you think about it, a question pops up and comes into mind. Have you ever wondered why SBI Ripple Asia felt the need to add Asia? It's as if there could be SBI Ripple US, SBI Ripple EU, maybe UK, Australia, and all those ones. It's just something to think about as well, and he or she actually also added another link of Ripple, or at least SBI Ripple Asia. It kind of feels like it. Even SBI Ripple Africa, yes, we should not forget that one. There's a good opportunity for it all. And it's kind of in the pipeline, at least in my thoughts. I think it's going to be coming up, because otherwise, why go for that, right? SBI Ripple would have been easy enough of a partnership if you were going to include the whole world. But it's specific to Asia. And even though all the operations will be in Asia, it's also not called Ripple San Francisco, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I think there's an opportunity for it. And by the way, this type of stuff is really, really big, by the way. If you don't know, do your own due diligence. It's some huge stuff. Ripple just came out with a tweet, and it read, Ripple's Ashish Birla, or Ash Go Blue over on Twitter, reflects on the current global payments landscape and shares why financial institutions that are able to provide real-time payment methods now are well positioned as leaders beyond the current crisis. Now, even without reading it, it's actually pretty obvious to tell why that would be, but it's just really, really good, in my opinion, that they voice all of their thoughts out like this, and they explain it to the masses, the people who are not as involved with crypto and maybe joining into economic discussions, into the greater good discussions as well, all the time. Like, for a lot of us, we were watching the news daily, right? So we know this type of stuff exactly when it comes out. We know about exactly how this would roll out as well. Let me quickly reread it again. Ripple shares Ashish Birla reflects on the current global payment landscape, so exactly how payments are rolling out right now, and also explains why financial institutions that are able to provide real-time payment methods now. So he just, we're looking at the global payment landscape, so how payments are going across the world, and financial institutions that are able to provide real-time payment right now are well positioned to be leaders beyond the crisis. Well, so of course, this whole technology is so necessary, and it's going to be a standard. We all kind of can guess it already. Real-time payments, they're here to stay. It's actually almost important, or almost impossible, to think about a world or society where real-time payments is not a thing anymore. And especially when we're talking about cross-border payments here, it's going to be really, really big. But by the way, just think about some payments you've ever done at the store or at the over at PayPal. Just think about what if that would have taken a couple of extra days instead of being possibly nearly instant. If you were at the store and he's like, all right, you purchased it, but now come back in 3 days when your purchase is pulled through. It's almost unspeakable, right? It's so crazy to think about payments being able to be non-instant. So why would it have to be with some other payments across countries, right? The big border is because it's different currencies. Well, Ripple has solutions to it all. And if you have a solution and it's just for the benefit of everybody, why not use it, right? Well, main issue is always money. Who's going to get the money from the benefits of all of this, and who's going to get the power of all of it? All companies want that power. All companies want the money from being the number one coin or number one technology for it. And thus, that's where the issue lies. Who's going to be the leader? We're hoping Ripple. We're thinking Ripple, but it's kind of impossible to tell exactly who's going to be it. And then Heli Belushi again over on Twitter with the kind of inspirational XRP tweets every so often. They make you think about some stuff, guys. And thus, it's kind of interesting to showcase every so often. Countries will stop using cash. The US dollar is dead. Central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are ready. XRP Bridge is ready. Bitcoin death is coming, and they are waiting for the call, buy XRP gold and silver. I'll tell you guys once more. This is something to think about. It might be a little bit of a vague story, but it's something that a lot of people are telling, except for this part. I would say that countries will stop using cash. That's kind of coming up. US dollar is dead. It's a very, very big thought going around right now. It's not like he's the only one thinking that. CBDCs are ready. Well, they're coming up piece by piece, and more central banks are thinking about it. XP Bridge is ready. That's true. Bitcoin death is coming. Don't know about that. It's, again, another thought where you're like, Bitcoin's not going to survive because all currencies are better than it. I think that's what he's trying to say. And then they are waiting for the call. Again, they're waiting for a certain switch possibly or something like that. Don't know about that either. However, buy Bitcoin, buy XRP, buy gold, buy silver. Yeah, I think that's something to think about and something to live by because, well, there's going to be golden when, the economy falls, if it ever does. And thus, I recommend it. But guys, thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. It's looking pretty damn bullish. So I'm happy I bought some coins recently because, well, I can sell them now for a roughly 5% profit in a couple of days, which is definitely quite interesting. And again, maybe I'll even buy something else at a premium. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to do something crazy. Maybe I'm going to do a little bit of a giveaway soon as well. If you guys want that, let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, having said all of that, see you guys again in another crypto video. Don't forget to press the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And see you guys again in another one.